Now, in a related issue, a look at vaccine shortages, something that I was discussing there with Dr. Budhiraja. Now, many parts of the country are experiencing a shortage of vaccine. Several states have spoken out about it, and it is seen as one of the reasons for the low daily vaccination rates. In fact, let's just bring you these visuals from Madhya Pradesh on Monday. Madhya Pradesh conducted a major vaccine push on Monday, and it even managed to give 4,55,496 doses in a single day. But many centers ran out of vaccines. Take a look at these endless long lines in Rajgarh, where there are long queues of people waiting for vaccinations. The vaccines finished after a point. There were just 17,000, and after that there was some chaos. And then in Dhar district as well, at one of the vaccination centers, there was a stampede-like situation. Just take a look at those visuals. So it doesn't seem like any hesitancy here. In fact, it seems like an over-eagerness for the vaccine, and huge crowds are lining up. So clearly all these people do want to get the vaccine and are, wired and want to access it sooner rather than later. So take a look at that stampede-like situation. So long lines and stampede seen in Madhya Pradesh on Monday. And now to talk more about, a survey on vaccines, LocalCircles conducted a survey to understand more about this shortage that is being spoken of. The survey received a response from 8,931 people across the country. This is across some 278 districts. 65% of the citizens said that they or someone in their close social network could not find a vaccination dose when they went for vaccinations over the last 30 days. This was done, this study came out on the 15th. Well, to talk more about this, we're joined by Sachin Taparia, co-founder and chairman of LocalCircles. Thank you so much, Sachin, for joining us. So tell us about who all was surveyed in this particular study that you did, and cities, rural parts, small towns.
So, Gargi, this is across the country, and we had a good mix of, tier 1 districts, which is your metros, tier 2, tier 3, as well as rural districts. The key issue here is that, as you rightly said, 65% of the citizens basically who were surveyed, they said they know one or more individuals in their social network who was not able to get the vaccine in the last 30 days. Now, the same number was at about 70% at the end of May. And it was, 18% at the beginning of April. And of course, the population that was eligible at the beginning of April was a much smaller, number of people that were eligible. So as that increased and as, COVID rose in the country through the second wave, at the end of May, everybody, a lot of people wanted to take the vaccine. So slight dip in that. But I think the challenge really that, we are sensing from when we read comments of individuals who were not able to get the vaccine is basically, one, there is a supply issue from the back end, where supply is coming into a particular state or a particular district. The second issue is a local logistics issue where, within a 100-kilometer radius, basically, you have certain centers who have excess supply and certain centers which are stocked out, basically. So I think that is something that has got to be figured out, which is, the entire logistics management, which is, can we forecast, how much, inflow or how much footfall are we going to get in a particular location versus, a location, let's say, that is 20 kilometers away. So I think there is a logistical problem that's to be solved, along with, of course, the supply issues, they have to be sorted, getting as many vaccines as possible. And
did you find any difference between men and women that you surveyed in terms of, what they had to say and eagerness for the vaccine?
So this was more around vaccine shortage. We have a separate survey that we have done around vaccine hesitancy, Gargi. And according to our estimates, there is still about 16 crore citizens in this country, adults, that are vaccine hesitant per our latest survey. So out of the 94 crore total population, about 16 crore is still vaccine hesitant. And, a host of reasons in terms of, why people don't want to take the vaccine, ranging from, I'm waiting for better vaccines to come. I'm waiting to see whether, these variants will get resolved with this current vaccine, or I have a medical condition because of which I cannot take the vaccine. So a host of reasons, and a very small percent saying, no matter what, I'm not going to take the vaccine.
All right, so that's interesting because on one hand, you have people, 65% of the people you surveyed know somebody who couldn't get the vaccine and wanted to get vaccinated. But at the same time, this is something that is being talked about, how in certain parts and certain, segments, you do have people who are hesitant. But the main reason right now for the, low daily vaccine numbers seems to be the supply problem.
Right, absolutely. And, I think this is where what we have got to do is of course, address the supply problem, address the local logistics problem, but then also, like, Dr. Budhiraja was saying, and you were saying earlier, we have got to sensitize and have awareness drives. So that way, come October, if this hesitancy of 16 crore, what we estimate prevails, till then the entire vaccination drive will slow down, where we may have enough vaccines, but not enough takers. So I think there's some proactive action that needs to be taken in there.
All right. Thank you so much, Sachin Taparia, for joining us on the program.
Yeah.